Well, good morning, good morning. I'm just sitting out here in the garden. I just measured that hossa. That hossa is about 5.5 feet across. It's huge. I hear the doves talking over there. We're a little nippy this morning. We're only around 50, 52 degrees, 51 degrees, but over the next couple of days we're supposed to change temperatures. We can go from low 50s to upper 50s and low 60s at night. And that's a sign to put everybody outside. So that's what I've been waiting for, and that's what's going to happen. So today is Sunday, so starting Tuesday, I'm going to move all the plants out Tuesday morning, and we can start growing for real. This salvia is coming up real nice. Anyway, because of that, I've been outside looking at the shade house, cleaning everything out. I get a lot of wonderful comments about the shade house. Thank you very much. I came up with this idea last year when I wanted to move my orchids outside, watching everybody grow in their greenhouses. I don't have a greenhouse. And I watched one of my favorite channels, Blanca Acosta. I love her channel. She has a beautiful shade house, and it gave me the idea for this one. Hers is a big stationary shade house, but it still gave me the idea for, this is what I need, and this is what I came up with. This one is on casters, big rubber casters, about 4-inch casters. They're like 400-pound capacity casters, each one of them. The two on this end are stationary, the two on this end swivel. My shade house was made in a specific size. It was made to fit in this space right over here by my chimney, up against the back of my chimney. You can make it any width, any size, any height you want to fit whatever your patio or deck or garden or whatever you want to do. It rolls extremely easy. Like I said, it pivots. Even full of orchids and stuff, it's very easy to roll around. Even full of all the rock and lava stone and everything, it rolls very easy. This one's about 6 feet wide, maybe 6.5 feet wide, 30 inches deep, and like I said, 6 feet 8 high. I made it that height so that I could roll it into a door. In the event of an emergency, I can take it and roll it right into my shop. Last year we had the hurricanes and the weather affected us up here a little bit. We had to take cover a couple of nights, and I wheeled them inside, and it came in handy for that. Really was happy I did that. Really happy. Anyway, again, you can make it. You don't even have to put wheels on it. You can do whatever you like with it. It's not made out of pressure treated except for the vertical slats. Those are pressure treated. The frames, it's made out of 4 frames. 1, 2, 3, and 4 upper frame. The frames are just 2x4s. 2 long 2x4s with braces in between them. And then 2 vertical 2x4s on the end that connect all the shelves together. It's just like a shelving unit, cheap shelving unit you'd make for your garage or something. It's got 1-inch by 1-inch welded wire mesh on it that's held tight with and stretched tight with roofing nails, galvanized roofing nails. There's a piece of it hanging here on the end also. The vertical slats, like I said, are pressure treated. I just filled in between the 2x4s with those. Those are just some cheap, inexpensive pressure treated fence boards that I ripped width, 1.5 inch width on my table saw, and screwed them into place. The bottom structure is a little bit beefier. I had put wood down here to keep varmints and stuff from getting directly up from the bottom. They can still enter. It doesn't keep them out of it. It just keeps them from coming up through the bottom and prevents the bottom from being attacked by that way. Just protects the plants and everything. The other thing is that it also creates a bunch more rigidity to the entire structure, which is important. There's a lot of weight above it, a lot of gravel, rock, etc., etc., and so it all has to be supported by it. There's metal brackets in each one of these corners that are attached onto the structure, and then there's some additional pressure-treated blocking that's put underneath each corner for the wheels to strengthen it. All this structure is held up by the lower section, so this has to be beefed up a little bit stronger. Other than that, there's not a lot to say about it. The direction of the slats, the actual shading part of the shade house, is probably the most important thing about a shade house. You need to make sure that you're perpendicular or at an angle, a pretty sharp angle, to the direction of the sun's travel. And I'll show you what I'm talking about. You hear that woodpecker? My sun travels from east across my yard this way, west all day long. Okay? If I had the slats, if I put my slats horizontally, had my slats this direction horizontally, that sun would come across here and get in that slat, and it would stay there all day long and burn those plants as it came across. With the slats being perpendicular to the sun's travel, as that sun comes across here, it's going to get sunshade, 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 sunshade. It's going to get broken up as it moves across the sky all day long, so your plants don't burn. That's important. It's important to remember. It's also important to remember when you're moving your shade house around out here that you keep that in mind too. If I turn mine around this direction, it's not just the front of them that it's exposed to the sun, which is okay if it's overhead directly. And some of the plants might like full sun, but it's not so much that as it's the upper slat. Because now I'm in the same direction travel as the sun. That sun will get into this slot, into these slots, and it'll stay there for hours and hours and hours and hours as it moves across the sky and burn those plants. When it's going this direction, perpendicular, it gets broken up as it comes across the sky. Just keep that in mind so you don't burn your plants up. That's one of those that's a piece off that other big chunk I had, and I think I'm gonna hollow that one out, make one of those mounts for a fowl. It looks like it'd be a good choice for one, maybe good candidate. I just needed to start drilling and chiseling that out. I'm not going to show that on camera, maybe some other time. I forgot that was sitting in there. Anyway, Tuesday our weather's going to change, and I'm going to move all the plants out and start filling up the shade house. So I've moved it out here. I get it cleaned out. I'm going to sweep out the bottom, wipe a few things down, check a few screws, and that's about it. And it's ready to go. It cost me a little over $100 probably in materials to make, and it took an afternoon to make. It wasn't difficult at all. I did it by myself. I think anybody with some basic carpentry skills can probably make that very, very simple. And it really has served its purpose. It really came in handy. I wish it was larger now that I made it. I even told my wife I'm either going to have to make a bigger shade house or make an additional shade house maybe. I thought about making another one just like it, to have two to roll around out here. Or put a canopy over the patio. And she liked the canopy idea actually better. It would actually give us better use of this space anyway. When I first built all the walls and the steps and all this stuff out here, my intention was to build a big pergola over this area, and I never got to it because I got sick and had to retire and been dealing with health since, so I don't know if I'm capable of doing that anymore, but maybe I can get some guys to come over and do it one afternoon for me. But regardless, I think we may put a canopy up over here just for now, just protect it and give it some a little more shade. And the orchid's going to hang out underneath here too, a place to hang them. I hear that woodpecker. Matter of fact, I see him now. He's in the top of that dead sycamore. I don't know if you guys can see him or not, but he's right there in that crotch. I can't hold it steady enough, sorry. That's great. I love to hear that sound. Sorry for the segue. That's not surprising. Forgot what I was doing. Completely forgot. I'm enjoying the woodpecker so much. Sorry. Shade house. Oh yeah, shade house. Anyway, I don't know what else to say about the shade house. It's just been a great tool to have. It really has. That's been one of my better gadgets I made. And I guess to answer questions ahead of time, because I know this question will come up, but no, I won't be making these to sell. I wish I could. I wish I had started this whole hobby 10 years ago. There'd be a whole lot of different things right now. I wish I was in a position where I could make these, because I would love to make these for people. I think you put your orchids outside in something like this, and it changes the way you grow. It really, really does. When you see how well they grow and they get outside, it's just phenomenal, just phenomenal. So enough about that. I'm going to enjoy my beautiful day here. Wonderful, beautiful spring day here in Alabama. Plants are moving outside, like I said, in a couple of days. I'm ready. All I have to do is, that's my grow room right there, so all I have to do is remove that metal rack off the wall It's on hooks. Just pull it off the wall, slide the window open. I can start pulling plants out and put them directly into the shade house, and then at the end, just close the window, put the rack back on, and I can bring my mounts out, hang them up there too. And we're ready to grow. And it'll be a juggling act, I'm sure, the first couple of days, keeping everybody in the sun, but not too much sun, keeping them from getting burned, etc., etc. Let them get acclimated to everything. I'm not going to spray my plants when I bring them outside, but that's a different talk probably. I haven't sprayed my plants with that Bayer, the systemic, since June of last year, I guess. So I'm closing up on it, close to a year. I sprayed a few when I brought them inside last fall, but I didn't. I had an issue with an outbreak of spider mites, mealybugs, and stuff like that when I brought all the plants inside last fall. I had you'll notice there's no Rex begonias and crotons and stuff like that in that grow room anymore on the floor, living around the bromeliads. All those died. When I got sick and my back went out and I couldn't get in that room for a couple of weeks, I don't think other people noticed the issues or noticed what was going on, and by the time I got in there and looked around, those plants were so covered with mealybugs and spider mites, and I'm sure it came from being outside, and they just didn't get sprayed well enough, or somebody traveled in and they got started. The orchids, on the other hand, never got affected by any of it. Not a single issue with them, which I think is a test of their nutrient values. Calcium. Goes back to that calcium. I know, calcium. Here, I'll start talking about calcium again. Anyway, because of that, I'm not going to spray my orchids when I bring them outside. I'm going to, in the wild, they don't get sprayed. Nobody's out there hitting them with, Bayer on the tree. So I'm going to follow the same suit. If I keep their nutritional values where they're supposed to be, and they should have a natural immunity against that stuff and be able to fight it all off. Squirrels is a different story. But we're going to see what happens. See what happens. I'll start segueing again here, sorry. I've got to get out, move things around, and I need to go for a walk. Enjoy this beautiful, beautiful day I've been blessed with. Have a wonderful afternoon. Thank you for listening to me ramble again. Thank you for the wonderful comments. If there's any other questions I can answer, or any other information about the shade house or how it was constructed, please let me know. I'll be happy to answer them. And have a wonderful afternoon. Enjoy your day. Thanks for watching.